There's one thing that they never told you before you left high school, and they told you would have changed everything for you. And furthermore, it's the reason that 95% of most people in the world, particularly in America, struggle. Okay. And on your ascent, if you're attempting to go from a solo entrepreneur to a fully scalable business, if you don't understand this one thing, it's the very reason that you're not meant or you're falling so hard. Okay. So before I forget, if you really want to learn how to do this, how to go from self-employed to a fully scalable business, watch this video again. Even faster, BlairSinger.com/plan. And one of us will sit down with you and find out what you're trying to get done, and if it's even possible to get it done. Okay. But here's the thing: there's one thing that they never taught you in high school before you left, and luckily, a couple of years after high school, somebody turned me on to it and changed everything for me. Now, let me tell you what it's not, okay? They also didn't tell you this. This is not the one thing, but they also didn't tell you about the effects of inflation. They didn't tell you what's going to happen when inflation is 6, 7, 8, 9%. They never told you how that was going to affect your business. Never told you how it was going to affect your gas tank. Never told you anything if you're in that stuff. Second thing they didn't tell, but that's not the most important one. Stay tuned for the most important one. Second thing they didn't tell you is about oil prices. What happens when they cut off line? What happens if they stop taking oil? What happens to all these things? Nobody told you that could even possibly. Just be good, do as you're told, and everything will be fine, right? They didn't tell you this in high school. Okay. The third thing, talk to you. Government agendas. They didn't talk about narratives and the right, left, and the progressives and the conservatives and all that other garbage that, whether you like it or not, is affecting your pocketbook. It's affecting your happiness. It's affecting what you're doing today, tomorrow, and the next day. But nobody told you that could possibly happen. You were supposed to learn a little bit of geography and you'll be fine, right? Wrong. Not that. That was advice. What else did they not tell you? They told that they didn't tell you that what teachers teach you in school was not only irrelevant, but it would cripple you. I'm going to say it again. They didn't tell you that all that stuff you learned in high school would not only not help you, but it would actually cripple you when you go out to make money, build a family, and have a future for yourself. They didn't tell you that. No, what they told you instead is just to comply, obey orders, do as you're told. Don't think for yourself. Look for somebody to follow. And so you have a world full of followers. What? Okay? So they didn't tell you that could happen. Of course, who's going to tell you that? Okay? What's the other thing? Yeah, they didn't tell you about wars. Yeah, you studied the World War I and World War II, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War. You studied all that. But you didn't talk about what happens when somebody invades another country and people are displaced and blown up and how that's affecting you and affecting our. They didn't tell you about that. Why? They didn't tell you about the realities of the world, that only some of my friends that actually enlisted and went to Vietnam or went to these other places came back to tell the stories and got yelled at and spit on. Nobody talked about the horrors of what war is about and how it would affect you psychically, emotionally, spiritually. No, they didn't tell you that. And we struggle because of that. But it's not the most important one yet. It's not the most important one yet. So what I cover? They didn't talk to you about runaway inflation, about oil prices, about government agendas. We covered that. What teachers teach you that not only doesn't help you, but cripples you going into the future. It doesn't allow you to create a financial future for yourself, to understand how to be an entrepreneur, to take control of your life. The other thing they didn't tell you how to lead. A few people, if you remember, you had some classmates that led. They were captain of this team or the captain of that club or of the student body. And these people somehow aspired and learned to lead it, but that was only a handful. Why? Because you just follow them, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. What would happen if everybody led? If you're going to try to build a business and you're going to bring people in business, you're going to scale a business, You need to know how to lead. Not just how to obey and wait for somebody to tell you which direction to move. And if they tell you to move in a direction, say, whoa, that's not the right direction. Time out. Let's go. What about going this way? Didn't teach you any of that. Wasn't taught. And now look at the mess that we're in. Okay. Now, one more before I get to the big one. Okay. So this is number 7. The 7th thing they did not teach you is that someday you're going to have to learn how to change your business, pivot, turn it around, shut it down, do something entirely new, no skill set, no nothing. Otherwise, you're going to be on a breadline. Otherwise, you're going to have to take government money. They didn't tell you that could possibly happen, did they? Did it ever happen before? Absolutely, it happened before. It's happened several times throughout recent history. Tell you that? No. They tell you it could possibly happen to you? No. So you're not prepared. Not because there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that these are some of the things that you did not learn in high school, that when you went out and said, I'm an adult now, I'm not listening to my parents anymore. Sound familiar? You weren't prepared. You weren't prepared. Okay? But the single most important one that they did not tell you, this is the one, the most powerful one of all. The most powerful thing that they did not tell you was the number one skill that would allow you to overcome all the obstacles I just mentioned, that would allow you to make money anytime, any place, any economy, any language, hyperinflation or depression. Makes no difference. You know what it is, right? What the one thing they did not tell you in school, they did not teach you, is how to sell. How to help people find out what people want and need and help them get it. Nobody told you how to do that. As a matter of fact, if you tried to do that, you were considered a manipulator. Okay? You're considered a hustler. What? That in order for you to build a scalable business, you have to unabashedly, without hesitation, be willing to sell your dreams, sell your idea, raise capital in any kind of economic times. So let me give you a little story about this, okay? So, and there's only 2 things you need to know, okay? So my son, 19 years old, disillusioned with school. Then, he go to Ohio State University. They're not teaching me anything. He goes online. He's in Austin, Texas, drifting. What am I going to do with my life? I keep telling him, go learn how to sell. So what's he doing? So he decided, after all his gimmicks and shortcuts, he took a job selling water door to door. Okay, now listen to me. Selling water door to door. Okay? Day one yesterday, he pounded on 90 doors. That's on 90 doors. 90 doors. And he got 1 deal. He was ecstatic. Today, day 2, 120 doors he pounded on. Got 2 deals. He is ecstatic. He's ecstatic. He is flying higher than a kite. How much money? He only made, his commission's only about $120 out of all of that. But here's the point. He said, teach me how to sell, teach me how to sell, teach me how to sell, teach me how to sell. Okay, only 2 things I'm going to teach you right now. Number 1, questions. Always ask questions. The person that asks questions is always in control. They hit you with an objection. Just ask them questions and build rapport. That's number 1. And I said, number 2, listen and read my lips. Never give up. Never give up. I'll say it again. Never give up. You may go through 500 doors, 1,000 doors and sell nothing, but don't stop. The toughest sell of all is you selling you to you. And I've told him that day after day after day. So he finally goes out and does it. He's ecstatic. Most of the guys that are brand new in his group sold nothing. He sold 3 in 2 days. Why? Because the one thing that they didn't teach you in school was not only how to sell, but that the most important sale of all is you selling you to you and not giving up and keeping an attitude and keep going, because sooner or later, Providence, the universe, God will shine on you. It will reward you for your persistence, and you'll get the deal. And then you'll get another deal, and you'll get another deal. And you will build in your body, you'll build into your genetic code this never giving up. He didn't like football. He didn't like this. He gave up on a lot of things. In sales, he's become an animal, and you can too. If you care enough about your financial future. Now, if you're waiting for the government to take care of you, you can click off a long time ago, okay? And if you've heard this before, then listen to it again, because it's a part of every one of us that wants to give up. I want to give up sometimes, but you cannot give up, because there's something about the way the universe works. And I can tell you this after all these years: if you persist long enough, last guy standing, and they give you the check. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so these are the things they didn't teach you in school, and I wish that I'm very fortunate that why don't you? I was like, I don't like this, and you know my whole story on all that, but it changed my life. So no matter what happens, no matter what the economy does, inflation up, inflation down, no matter what, I know I have the one skill ingrained in my body that will guarantee my family income. It'll guarantee the lifestyle I want in any country, in any language, anywhere in the world. So if you want to go from self-employed to becoming a scalable business, it is still your number one skill. Number one skill. Never give up. Ask questions. Basically learn how to sell. And selling you to you, which is the important part, okay? So hopefully you got some value out of this. And I'd like to hear your stories about sales, your stories about not giving up. Write them in the comment section and send them to me. I'd like to know what they are. I get inspired by you. You know, we had I on Facebook Live earlier in the week, I had a young lady. We heard about a friend of a friend, a friend of a friend of a friend's daughter, or a sister-in-law, was trapped in Kiev. She was 22 years old. They're bombing the city. She's hiding and crying in her bathtub. And as I reached out to get some support to all my network of the Blair Singer Training Academy trainers and colleagues around the world, people stepped up. People took care. People offered their homes, offered transportation. She got herself to the border to help her get her visa to come to America. And she was surrounded in a wave and a cushion of love and support. That's leadership. Do you think that people in Poland have other things to do? Of course they do. Do you think that they're worried about what's happening across the border? Of course they are. Did that mean that they couldn't stop and help somebody? No, they helped anyway. They sold themselves on a higher cause, and that higher cause is all of us together. So I'm just full of amazing inspiration this week. I don't know about you. If you've got the inspiration, share it. Put it in the comment section. Talk about something that inspired you. Let me know about it. And you need to be that inspiration for other people, or at least create an environment where people can step up and do it, where they can step up and be the heroes that we're all meant to be. Okay. Again, if you like this, share it. If you like it, type in like, that you click on the like button, and subscribe. Please subscribe to our channels. I love getting your comments back. It gives fuel for more education and more information. And again, if you really want to go from solo to a scalable business, go to blairsinger.com/plan and just let us talk to you to find out if you're on the right track. I mean, a 15-minute conversation can make the difference between exhilarating wealth or a disaster. Okay. So let us at least help you with that. Okay. So thank you so much, you guys. It's an honor to work with you always, and we'll see you next time. Be amazing.